I need to start off this video with the definition of overrated. Overrated means to be considered better than something really is. If a vocalist is overrated, it means that the vocalist is considered better than what they really are, especially in comparison to other vocalists. Essentially, the term overrated has less to do with actual quality, but with public's reception of someone else's skill in this context. So no, overrated doesn't have to mean bad. Just so we're clear, let's get into it. I feel like Adele has over the years been put on a vocal pedestal she's never asked for. It's very common of the general public to mention Adele among names like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, or Beyoncé. And with all due respect, vocally, Adele most certainly does not belong there. Yes, Adele does have a beautiful, warm, dark voice. The kind of voice that's just full of raw emotion, and with the sheer number of people she's moved with her talent over the years, it's clear that she's doing something right. Adele is a true lover of music and an artist at heart, and a good enough vocalist. Of course, she has her strengths, like her solid lower register and round, controlled vibrato.
Learning to fly, learning to run, and my heart is like the wave when I was young. They don't recognize me now, I'd have been.
However, Adele does have her own share of weaknesses that are impossible to omit. Adele's belting technique is notably flawed. Tension easily creeps into her belts, and she quite often struggles with a proper placement of her voice. She has some unfortunate vocal habits, like over-pushing her instrument and bringing too much weight into her belting range. When belting, Adele often lacks true relaxation, since the relationship between her airflow and muscles is often inoptimal. The things I mentioned strip Adele's voice of its deeper, warm tones once she's out of her comfortable mid-range. I know it may seem like I'm focusing on Adele's belting technique too much, but that's because Adele herself is quite a belty vocalist. It's in her vocal style. So her approach in this area really matters and reflects on her as a vocalist. Moving on, Adele's sense of intonation is less than great, and so is her vocal agility. Head voice is generally a safe space for her, however, in a grand scheme of things, it's nowhere near as developed and controlled as Perry Edwards's, Chloe and Halle's, not to even mention the legendary Whitney Houston and her impeccable head voice. In general, Adele is a brilliant singer, a brilliant artist, and a unique voice in the pop music industry. She's also hilarious and extremely likable. Who wouldn't want to have a drink with Adele? But purely vocally speaking, Adele is a better vocalist than Rihanna, Katy Perry, Meghan Trainor, or Camila Cabello. But is she much better than Olivia Rodrigo, for example? I personally don't think so. I don't think that Billie thinks of herself as an exceptional vocalist.
I literally haven't been able to hit the high note of this song for like 4 years. I'm not joking at all.
To stop you bleeding,
Watch.
but nothing ever stops you leaving.
Nope. I literally haven't done like 4 years.
So I don't get why her fans are sometimes so adamant about her being one. Billie is for sure not a bad or lackluster vocalist on her own. She's mostly a stylistic vocalist who specializes in a certain sound. However, Billie is most definitely not a well-rounded vocalist, as her style and lack of strong technical development ultimately limit her delivery. Not every great vocalist needs to be a powerhouse belter or belt all the time. But one of the cringiest takes I have encountered online is, well, it's harder to sing softly and whisper than to belt. Guys, although it takes control to do this, it sure as hell is not harder than something like this. Let's not lie to ourselves. In my opinion, jihyo is one of the biggest forces to be reckoned with of the K-pop idol industry, and the respect I have for her as a kind of performer that she is, honestly, knows no limit. However, I've always thought that jihyo's vocal prowess was tremendously overpraised, mostly within the fandom of course, especially in more recent years since her decline from Twice debut days. Because yes, jihyo undoubtedly used to be a better vocalist than she is now. Her already shaky sense of pitch hasn't improved in the slightest. Vibrato lost some of its ruling quality, jihyo's belts only became more forced, weak, and tense.
You make me feel special. You make me feel special. 아프고 아픈 말들은 날 찔러도 네가 있어 난 맛이 웃어. 세상이 아무리 날 주저앉혀도 아프고 아픈 말들은 날 찔러도 네가 있어 난 맛이 웃어.
These are some of her most prominent vocal weaknesses, as well as her overall inconsistency. The potential of jihyo almost angers me. Listen, if Yeji of ITZY could reach the level somewhere around Solo of Mamamoo, then jihyo, with proper guidance and training, could become a better vocalist than her. Like I'm talking killin level. I am very serious. However, as of now, jihyo is not much better than vocalists like Miyeon of Idol or Rosé of Blackpink. And she is also not a stronger vocalist than someone like Sugi of Red Velvet, for example, which doesn't make her a vocal goddess exactly. Another idol who I personally really enjoy, yet is quite heavily overrated vocally, mostly by the fandom. Siyeon, with all the immense talent she naturally has, is nowhere near being one of the top vocalists of her generation or at all in K-pop. Her pugnacious, sharp, cool-toned voice works perfectly for Dreamcatcher catalog. Also, the producers generally do a very good job at creating space for Siyeon to shine in Dreamcatcher's music. What I'm gonna say is that Siyeon is an extremely effective vocalist in bringing the right tone and energy to the group's discography. She may not even be the best vocalist in her group, but dang, she is irreplaceable. Siyeon's technique leaves a lot to be desired, way too much to be put among vocalists like Nining of Aespa, Monday of Weekly, not to mention people like Yuju or Wendy. Siyeon, however, is totally capable of truly becoming the vocalist some fans think she is, although she's not there yet. So I really wanted to have a male vocalist in this video, but I just wasn't sure who I should pick. I was like, maybe Justin Bieber, but I don't think people see him as much of a vocalist. Maybe Zayn Malik is a bit overhyped. I don't know, so I gave up. Please leave some suggestions, because I'm leaving this one for you. Well, I have thought of someone, but I don't want to say who. Am I giving you a hint? Maybe with a twist. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes. Hi. And that is all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. By the way, I came back from my little trip with my friends in one piece. That's good. I've had so much fun. I guess that's a little update for you. See you in the next one. For now, am I singing today? Bye, guys. That was messy. What? Bye, guys.